War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, unless you're a bucket. Wars have started over land, religion, power. But this one, it may be the pettiest conflict in human history. And yet, it ended with a city humiliated, a military triumph, and a bucket enshrined like a holy relic. Welcome to Haphazard history, where the past is weird, the facts are real, and sometimes war starts over what you'd expect to find at a well. Today, the War of the Oaken Bucket, a medieval grudge match between two Italian city-states that turned a stolen water pail into a full-blown battlefield. But this wasn't just about a bucket, and the reason they fought might say more about us than we'd like to admit. Let's rewind. To understand why this story ends in a bucket trophy, we need to start with an old-school rivalry that makes modern Twitter feuds look civil. Bologna and Modena, two northern Italian powerhouses, had been enemies for centuries. Bologna was repping the Guelphs, loyal to the Pope. Modena? Ghibellines, backers of the Holy Roman Emperor. In medieval terms, that basically meant your cities were locked in an eternal ideological deathmatch. You hated the other side on principle, borders were raided, alliances tested, and all it took was the tiniest spark. And then someone took a bucket. No, not a gold-plated heirloom, not a sacred relic. Just a standard wooden well bucket, allegedly snatched by Modenese soldiers during a border raid. What did Modena do with it? They didn't return it. They didn't hide it. They displayed it. Publicly. Like it was the Stanley Cup of medieval shade. Bologna, embarrassed and outraged, demanded its return. Modena refused. Bologna did what any totally rational state would do. They declared war. It was medieval ego at its peak. In November 1325, Bologna marched out with 30,000 troops. They outnumbered Modena nearly 3-1, full of confidence and righteous bucket rage. Modena had only 12,000 troops, but strategy, speed, bucket-fueled spite, they had that in spades. At the Battle of Zappolino, against all odds, Modena won. Not just won, they clowned Bologna, routed their forces and sent them packing. But they weren't done. Modenese troops chased them back to Bologna, destroyed one of their aqueducts, and left the bucket right where it was, hanging in Modena like the world's weirdest championship belt. To this day, that same bucket, or so Modena claims, still hangs in a church tower as a symbol of their petty triumph. Bologna says it's not the original. Modena says they don't care. The bucket isn't just wood. It's a message. Because the war was never really about the bucket. It was the last straw in a centuries-long power struggle. But the bucket, it became the symbol. The meme before memes existed. It's hilarious, sure. But it's also a perfect example of how petty symbols can carry massive weight, ego can escalate into violence, and humans are glorified toddlers in armor. If Twitter existed in 1325, this would have been a trending topic for weeks. Thanks for watching Haphazard History. If this tale of medieval madness made you laugh, think, or just stare at your own water pail a little differently, hit like, subscribe, and tell us, what's the pettiest reason you've ever seen people fall out? We might just turn it into history. Until next time, guard your buckets.